What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Kevin with Optimized Essentials, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a 2-in-1 exercise to activate your glutes and your core at the same time for better walking posture and gait mechanics. All right, why is this important? Because each time you take a step, when you land on your heel, given you have enough dorsiflexion, right, when you land on your heels connects with your butt and your core, most notably your TVA, your transverse abdominis. These two muscles, they engage so that your pelvis is nice and stable. When you don't have a functioning glute or core because you sit a lot or you don't train those muscles or you have excessively tight hips, what happens is the force that gets distributed throughout your body no longer is as efficient as it can be, or it's no longer the same, because when you land and you go into extension, your glute and your core need to work in conjunction so that you can have the perfect stride or the perfect gait cycle. And when these muscles aren't working, then you're going to be susceptible to a lot of injuries or a lot of unnecessary load on certain body parts that you wouldn't otherwise have if your glutes and core were working. Now, I'll give you a quick example. You might have more ankle pain, more foot pain, more shin pain, shin splints, or knee pain, or anywhere up the body. If you haven't seen my video on fixing pronated feet or fixing your flat feet, you want to make sure you check that video out, because I talk about many different ways that this happens and the truth behind how to actually fix it. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's go over how to activate your glutes and core at the same time. But first and foremost, I do want to mention, before you do this exercise, you want to make sure you stretch out those hip flexors, because the hip flexors, your TFL, your psoas, the quads, these muscles are antagonists, which basically means they oppose the muscles on the opposite side, which are your glutes. And sometimes if your hip flexors are too active, too tight, too tonic, they may even take neurological load or input away from your core and into, the prime movers, which are the hip flexors. So if you're not feeling your core or you're not feeling your glutes, then chances are your hip flexors are tight. And I've made 2 videos, one stretches you can do at your desk, and stretches or the cure to hip flexors, where I show you how to really myofascial release the fascia in your quads and in the hip flexors, the TFL, so that you can really stretch and open up those tissues. Because if you have knots and kinks in there, stretching is only gonna be so effective, right? The amount of results you get from stretching alone is only going to be so much. So once you've done that, now let's get into it and get into the exercises. All right, y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, so the very first exercise we're going to be doing is going to be at the edge of the bench. All right, what I did use in this video was the sit-up bench. All right. Regular bench is totally fine. Just make sure you scoot yourself all the way to the edge of the bench so that you have something to grab on. And to perform this exercise, you want to make sure that you are doing it properly, all right? This is the kickback. The video that I'm going to be showing you is the kickback, all right? You don't want to be going too far out and doing what the girls do to train their butt, the donkey kicks, where they're extending their back too much and kicking way too high. You want to make sure you're not too close in and kind of shrugging your body and looking excessively round. You want to find that position that is exactly the midpoint, all right? The middle portion. You're not too far in, not too far out, right? Think Goldilocks. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. Now, how do you know? Well, your body's going to feel nice and neutral. Your lower back isn't going to feel like it's extended too much. Your lower back isn't going to feel like it's rounded too much, but it's just going to feel nice and neutral. You're going to feel a bit of stretch in your hamstrings if your hamstrings are tight. And most importantly, you want to focus on feeling your butt. All right, so keep your attention on your hamstrings, your butt, and your core. Now, in this position, I do want to preface, if you have an anterior pelvic tilt, you want to make sure you kind of posterior tilt it a little bit. And if you have a posterior tilt, you want to anterior tilt it a little bit, meaning sticking your butt out or tucking your butt in under, depending on what you have. And then from this position, you're going to be focusing on your heels and your glutes. You're gonna drive your heels straight up towards the ceiling while trying to pinch your butt cheeks together, all right? So pull your toes up towards you and then focus on your heels and your butt and then just drive straight up. You don't wanna go as high as you can and create an excessive arch in your lower back, but you wanna go high enough so that you can really pinch the butt cheeks together. You do that about 15 reps to really feel and activate the glutes by really squeezing and connecting with your glutes. Once you can feel that correctly, then we're gonna go into the next exercise. This is the 2-in-1 combination. In this exercise, what I want you to do is you wanna lay onto the bench, grab onto the edge of the bench so that your arm is making about like a 90-degree angle. And then from this position, the first progression we're gonna do is with our knees bent at a 90-degree, all right? 90-degree angle. From this position, you're gonna slowly drop that leg down, maintaining the bent knee position and focusing on inhaling and sucking your gut in, all right? So draw your belly button in, squeeze your core as tight as you can, and at the bottom of the movement, make sure you really pinch your butt cheeks together, right? So you're integrating the first movement that we did to activate our glutes into this core movement. So as you're going down, squeeze that butt cheek together, squeeze your core as tight as you can, and then come back up. And then you're gonna switch over to the other leg, squeeze your core, tighten your glutes, and then come back up. And then you're gonna repeat that for about 12 to 16 repetitions, depending on how hard it is for you and how much burn and squeeze you feel. If you start to feel it in other body parts, in your lower back, or just certain things that doesn't feel right, then stop, all right? If you're feeling in your lower back, chances are you're not activating your core properly, and you wanna make sure you're really keeping your back as flat as possible. So as you're going down, suck your gut in, squeeze as hard as you can your core, and then at the bottom, squeeze your glutes as hard as you can, and then come back up. This is the first progression. This is the easy one, all right? So if you're having trouble with this, then we're gonna have to work it out on another video because this is the easiest progression. Now, if you wanna make it a bit more advanced, instead of keeping your knees bent, what I want you to do is you're gonna bend one leg and then keep the other leg straight, all right? In this position, you do the same exact thing. You let the leg go down, pinch your butt cheeks at the bottom, come back up, and then you're gonna switch legs with one leg in towards you. The closer you bring the leg that is in to you, the easier it will be because you don't want both legs to be splayed out in front of you because that will cause gravity to work against your side and then pull you down more, fatiguing your core a lot more. You want to keep one leg bent in towards your chest and then keep that other leg straight down and squeeze the glutes as hard as you can. Now, those two exercises can be progressed even more. You can take the same concept and straighten out your legs and do alternating leg drops. You can do leg drops and pinch your butt cheeks at the bottom. This is teaching your body how to integrate its core, its trunk in conjunction, all right? How to activate your glutes and your core at the same time. You'll notice when you do this properly, you'll have better walking mechanics, guys. I promise you. It's very important that your glutes and your core is working, and if it isn't, chances are you have glute amnesia or just a weak dysfunctional core from excessive sitting. Now, I believe I covered everything in this video. If you want more resources, you want to make sure you check out my Posture 101 program. That will teach you how to assess your own posture, how to do some corrective stretches so that you can improve the tightness in your body and really open up so that you can have optimal alignment. If you're looking for a transformation program, a program that will change your fitness levels, your fitness physique, and it's easy to follow and gets effective results, check out my flagship transformation program. And guys, this is it. I want to wish you a good luck on fixing your posture, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any more questions, and stay tuned for more. So make sure you subscribe and have a wonderful day. Peace.